All right, what's up, guys? So Phil Daru here, Daru Strong Training Systems. I'm here today to talk about my go-to corrective exercises for the squat, the overhead press, the deadlift, and the bench press. Now, corrective exercises are good for, taking care of any weak points in your movement pattern, taking care of any imbalances or any sticking points in each of these movements or each of these exercises. So I'm going to go through each and every one of those. Then we're going to go ahead and give you a video outlook of it. And then I'll show you the exercises in general that you can do to help enhance your abilities to do these movement patterns. So here we go. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is the squat. Now, we're just going to be talking about a general back squat or even just a front squat. But for the most part, a lot of the times what you see is a lot of valgus or knee caving in at the bottom or mid-range position. To enhance that ability to actually be able to spread the floor apart and utilize your hips and your abductors, I like to throw on a hip circle right on my thigh so I can get that tactile cue to actually spread the floor apart, or in this case, spread the band apart so we can get that good activation of those hips and the glutes to fire back up. The next one we're going to talk about is a lateral band. Now, if you have imbalances or asymmetries and you see your hips sort of shift to one side, that usually means one or two things. You have an imbalance, you're tight on one side, your ankles may be out of range, where one side may be able to dorsiflex before the other. So what you're going to try to do here is we're going to go ahead and throw a band on one side of the body so that can give you another tactile cue or an active cue to push towards that side so you can even out that imbalance. Okay, so for the next one, we're going to talk about overhead pressing. Any type of military press, a push press, push jerk, whatever it is that you're going to be doing overhead in the overhead position, you want to make sure that you have good range and you can actually get your hands over your head without extending at the lumbar spine. So what you can work on is wall slides. Now this basically you're going to put your back against the wall and essentially do a press, an overhead press on the wall. Make sure you're maintaining contact with your elbows, your shoulders, your wrist, and your hands along that wall as you're sliding up and down. Another one is good is a YWT. Now this is going to be done on the floor in a prone position where you're going to be holding your arms overhead. You're going to actually give yourself kind of like a lat pull down, squeezing your rhomboids and your lats, and then we're going to go out to a T so we can open up that anterior delt and pec minor so that you're not caved in or in that kyphotic position, which should help you get in that overhead position without going back in extension or jolting your head forward. Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about is deadlifts. So for the deadlift, a lot of times people have trouble in the lockout position, especially with a conventional style deadlift. Now, I'm going to primarily talk about the conventional. We can get into the sumo in later videos, but for now, we're just talking about a regular deadlift. So I like to go with a posterior band pull. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to tie that band around your hips posteriorly down back behind you, either to a rig or a rack or some sort, or even a partner can hold it. And what that's going to do is that's going to give you another tactile cue to actually drive your hips through to that movement and activate your glutes instead of bending backwards and not fully locking out with your quads or your knees. The next one is an anterior band bar pull. So the bar is going to be attached, or a band is going to be attached to the bar as you pull your lats into it. That's going to help you maintain tightness in your upper back to eliminate that roundness or that caving in as you go to pull the bar up through the lockout position. Here it goes. All right, so for the last one, we're going to talk about what else? Bench press. Now, everybody knows, or everybody asks you, how much you bench. Whatever the case may be, I guess that's the big thing nowadays. Now, a lot of times I see people benching wrong, right? We want to make sure that we're encasing or introducing the entire body to the movement. It's not just a movement for your pecs, per se, what most people think. You're actually using your anterior delt, using your triceps. In all actuality, you're actually using your glutes too as well on that bench. So that's why you see a lot of guys arching. It's not to just gain that range of motion, right? So get that less range of motion to get that lockout. It's more so that you can get full body tightness so that you can get more force output towards that bar. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and enhance that ability to retract those scaps. So what I like is a band scap retraction pull where you can get a partner and he's going to tie that band around the scap and it's going to pull you back into retraction as you go to press the bar apart. Now this is highly difficult if you do it the right way, but I guarantee you it will work, and make sure that you will retract as you go to press that bar. Another thing that it does, it keeps your shoulders safe. If we go ahead and we protract through the movement, chances are you're going to tear something, especially pec minor, pec major, and anterior delt. The next one is going to be a reverse band pull down. Now this is actually going to be a reverse portion of the movement. So you're actually going to take the bar, wrap it on a band tied up to the rig or the rack, and actually pull down the bar just like you would in that same movement pattern as a bench press. This is going to get you used to actually bending the bar apart and driving out with your triceps. This is one thing that I love to do with people that have a hard time with bending the bar apart and actually using their lats to pull it into their body. Here it goes. guys, so those were the corrective exercises. Hopefully you could take that with you and enhance your abilities to go through all these movements efficiently and effectively. Make sure that you're getting them done. I like to say you may want to do 3 to 4 sets for around 5 to 10 reps per exercise or per corrective exercise. Now you could do this, for your pre-warm-up, if you're warming up for your workout, for your lifts ahead, or you can do it as an auxiliary lift after your training of those specific movements, after you see your deficiencies in that place of range. Let's get to it, and I'll see you next time.